Okay, so I want you to listen to this, to these sentences and repeat them.
4.3.
Let's go.
1.
If I see her, I'll tell her.
You. Okay, just try to join the sounds. If I see her, I'll tell her. If I see her, I'll tell her. Yeah. 2.
2. We'll go if it doesn't rain.
We'll go if it doesn't rain.
3.
If I get there early, I'll order the food.
I'll order. If I, it's all together. If I get there early, they're early. If I get there early, I'll order the food. Yeah.
4. They'll arrive at 8 if their flight's on time.
They'll arrive at 8 if their flight's on time. Again. They'll arrive at 8 if their flight's on time. All right. Good.
5.
If you aren't in a hurry, we can walk.
Do you know the meaning of all the sentences here? Yeah? Okay. Now, we're going to listen and write 5 more sentences.
4.4. 1.
If you don't eat something, you'll be hungry later.
Okay, can you repeat that? Try to understand what you're listening to. Maybe we should write this on the board, but anyway, take a piece of paper if you want to. And then I want you to listen to the words and try to write them down, okay? It's the same proposition.
Four 4.4. 1.
Ready?
1.
If you don't eat something, you'll be hungry later.
Play it again.
4.4. 1.
If you don't eat something, you'll be hungry later.
Didn't you want a piece of paper, Bruno? No? Got it? What is it?
If you eat something, if you don't eat something, you'll be hungry later.
If you don't eat something, you'll be hungry later. Right? Good.
Two.
Go.
I'm sure she'll come if you ask her.
Play it again.
I'm sure she'll come if you ask her.
2.
I'm sure she'll come if you ask her.
I'm sure.
I'm sure
She'll come. She will come if you ask her. Do you understand? I'm sure she'll come if you ask her. Right, number 3.
3.
You'll earn more money if you work on weekends.
Again.
You'll earn more money if you work on weekends.
3.
You'll earn more money if you work on weekends.
You'll earn more money if you work on weekends. Earn. You don't say win money, you say earn money. You make money, you earn money. E-A-R-N, earn. You will earn more money. How can you earn money? Yeah. Sell your working force for money. Yeah. Now, 4. Let's do it.
4. If the movie's in Chinese, we won't understand a word. If the movie's in Chinese, we won't understand a word.
What is it? Yeah. If the movie is in Chinese, we won't understand a word. Mhm. Unless you're Chinese or you speak Chinese. Now, let's see 5.
5.
If I cook lunch, will you cook dinner?
Why not? Yeah, it is Mandarin, but Chinese is how it is internationally recognized. It's Mandarin. It's Chinese. There's a traditional Chinese, there's modern Chinese. Now, listen to number 5. Where's number 5?
5.
If I cook lunch, will you cook dinner? If I cook lunch, will you cook dinner?
5.
If I cook lunch, will you cook dinner?
If I cook lunch, will you cook dinner? Cook. Yes. To make lunch and to make dinner. If I cook lunch, will you cook dinner? Whenever you ask a person if she's willing to do something, you say, will you? Like, the question for the person to marry you is, will you marry me? Not, are you going to get married with me? It's like, will you? Would you like to make the decision right now? So, will you? That's why the person says that way. Okay, we got confusing verbs here. What is the difference between know and meet and wear and carry? These 2 or 4 verbs have different meanings. If I say, I know you, I meet you, what is the difference?
No, slide. And you
What do you do first? You meet or you know the person first?
meet.
You first meet the person, right? Nice to meet you. And then after you meet the person a couple of times, and then you know the person, right? You know the name, the address, some of the characteristics. So that's the difference. To know the person, you need to have met the person before. So you first meet and then you know. Mhm. What about wearing and carrying?
Where
How do I use wear? Wearing glasses, yes, you can wear glasses. What else can you wear? Clothes. Yes, you're wearing clothes. Something that is on your body, something that is not natural to your body, and then you're wearing. I'm wearing pants, I'm wearing jeans, I'm wearing shoes, socks. That's what you're putting on your body, right? But if you're carrying, the difference is it's not on your body, but you're holding it with your hands, probably. So what are you holding? You can be holding a backpack or a bag or cell phone, yes? So you're carrying a cell phone, carrying a pen, carrying a backpack. Yeah. So this is important when you're trying to describe a person. Oh, she's wearing black boots and she's carrying a yellow bag. Yeah, like a fugitive from record television. Oh, no. Let's go. Circle the right verb. I want you to think about the right verb, and you read the sentence according to what you decide, okay? So number one, which would you choose, Allison?
What do you look like?
Who do you look like in your family? Do you understand look like? Physical appearance, right? Okay, Bruno, number two.
How many classes have you missed?
Missed. You missed the classes, not lost. Like lost, you don't know where it is, right? Yeah. You don't lose the bus. You missed the bus. You missed the class. What is the difference between missing and losing? If you miss, the thing is still there. If you lost, you don't know where it is. Yeah. I lost my wallet, and the person asked, where? Well, if I knew it, I wouldn't say it. I would have found it already. Yeah. So miss, you can miss a class, you can miss the bus, you can miss the birthday party, you can miss, I don't know, the show, the game, whatever. Mateus, three.
What else do you always learn?
Which one? Take. When you go, if you go, you take. If you come, you bring. You know what gadgets is? Devices, inventions, technological stuff. It's a gadget, something like a telephone is a gadget. A can opener is a gadget, something that you can use to open the can. Whatever you bring with you that is something that's going to help you with some situation, a kind of tool, right? Especially electronic. So you take with you. What gadgets do you always take with you? What gadgets do you take when you go on vacation? Smartphone only? Knife? Sometimes. Okay. Addison, number four.
Do you think sport people earn too much money?
Earn too much money. Do you?
Yeah.
Like ping pong players?
Oh.
No.
The football, soccer.
Oh, the soccer players do, yeah. Okay. Bruno, five.
What is the best way to meet friends?
What is the best way?
Go to a bar, some event.
Yeah. Or you give free money to some people and food. People be your friends. Yeah. Number six. Is it okay to tell a lie? To tell a lie or to say a lie? To tell a lie, so you're all right. Don't tell no lie. Liar. Yeah? Like what? Like when somebody offers you food and they ask you, is it good? Do you like it? And you say, yeah, of course. It's tasty, yummy, delicious. But actually you don't like it. Whenever somebody asks you, do I look beautiful? Don't think, just say yes. Don't think more than just a split of a second. If you take too long to say that, you're in trouble. Of course you do. Is it okay to tell lies? That depends. That's the answer we don't want to say. It depends, but it depends, yeah? Depends on the situation, right? I lied because I love you. Now, we're going to match the numbers with the letters. Number one, monsoon is when it rains very heavily for 3 months or more. Now, take a look at number two. I'll give you a minute to do that. Let's do it together. What is an earthquake? What letter is it? G. When the ground suddenly shakes very strongly. Okay. 3.
That's very,
Letter? Letter D, very large wave in the ocean. Okay. 4, cyclone.
I've heard from one that we can answer.
Letter?
So,
E,
B,
D, strong wind.
when,
Strong wind that moves in a circle.
strong wind,
Number 5,
is,
blizzard.
I've heard that it's probably no one know what. Wind,
What letter is it?
A.
Very bad storm with snow and strong winds. Okay. A flood.
When there is too much water, yeah,
Yes, letter F. Too much water. It comes out of the river. Yeah, it goes out of the edges. Now, number 7, forest fire. Mhm. Yep, you got it all. Good. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to listen to, wait, a blizzard. Yeah. A blizzard. Let me see if I have an example of a blizzard here. You know, when you talk about rain, there are so many things about rain. Come on, internet. So, blizzard. The Blizzard of Oz. No, that's the Wizard of Oz. The Blizzard of Us. Right. Dragon Ball Super. No, that's not Blizzard. Thunder, snow in Buffalo area. Blah, blah, blah. Blizzard, snowstorm, blizzard and howling. Freak. Blizzard example. Let's see if there is. Maybe there is. Time lapse of blizzard. Blizzard. Here you are. Colorado. So what is the description of a blizzard? Let's see it again. A blizzard is, which one? Number 5 is letter A. A very bad storm with snow and strong winds. Snow and strong winds. That's it. When it snows and there's strong wind. What? Yep, here we go. Okay, now we're gonna take a look at the story here because this is a family who's going on vacation. And they have survived 7 natural disasters. So let's take a look. Listen to what happened to Mr. and Mrs. I don't know, Zenstrom. Mark their route on the map. What natural disaster happened in each place. So we're going to listen to. So can you see the map? Where are they? I don't know, maybe the yellow parts. Sweden, Germany, Tokyo, Japan, Indonesia, Bali, Australia, and New Zealand. So in these places, there were probably some natural disasters for them to survive. Yeah.
4.6. And to finish our program today, the incredible story of a Swedish couple who went on vacation and survived no fewer than 7 natural disasters. Stefan and Erika Svanstrom started their 4-month trip last December. They were traveling with their young baby daughter. First, they flew from Stockholm to Munich. But when they arrived in Munich, they couldn't get their connecting flight to Thailand because there was a terrible blizzard in South Germany, the worst snowstorm in 100 years. They had to wait at the airport for 24 hours. Mrs. Svanstrom said,
"We just thought things will get better."
when they finally got to Thailand, they had a relaxing few weeks. But that was the last time they could really relax. From Thailand, they flew to the island of Bali in Indonesia, a popular vacation destination. When they arrived in Bali, they were expecting blue skies and sun. But what they got were terrible monsoon rains, the worst monsoons for many years. Mrs. Svanstrom said,
Now we were thinking, what will happen next?
they decided not to stay in Bali, but to go to Australia. They flew to Perth in Western Australia, but hours after they arrived, Perth suffered terrible forest fires, and the streets were full of smoke. They traveled north to Cairns and arrived just in time for Cyclone Yasi, one of the worst cyclones ever to hit the city. They had to leave their hotel and spend 24 hours in a shopping center with 2,500 other people. Could things get any worse? Yes, they could. The Svanstrom family left Cairns and traveled south to Brisbane to visit friends. But the city was suffering from the worst floods in its history. So they left Brisbane and booked airline tickets to Christchurch in New Zealand. But just before their plane left Brisbane, some friends called them to say that Christchurch had been hit by an earthquake and a large part of the city was destroyed. Their plane landed in another city, Auckland. They traveled around New Zealand for a while, and then they flew to Japan. On March 11th, they were having lunch in a restaurant in Tokyo when suddenly everything began to shake. It was an earthquake, 9 on the Richter scale, and one of the worst that ever hit Japan. And after the earthquake came a devastating tsunami. Fortunately, Mr. and Mrs. Svanstrom and their child were not hurt. They traveled from Japan to China for the last part of their vacation. Luckily, they didn't have any more natural disasters, and they arrived safely home in Stockholm on March 29th. Mr. Svanstrom said,
We have learned that in life you should always expect the worst but hope for the best. Also, you need to be prepared for anything.
Okay. So where's Thailand? Somewhere over here, right? Yeah. They were leaving from Germany. Somewhere in here. Stockholm, Germany. Then they went to Thailand. Then they had to go to Indonesia. Oh man, it's a long trip. Okay, the problem is there were so many things going on. We have to pay attention now because these are the sentences we have to listen again and answer. So, did you get any of this, of the information? Now think about it. If you think about the first question, how long do they have to wait at Munich airport? Did you get that?
4.6.
Let's say it again.
And to finish our program today, the incredible story of a Swedish couple who went on vacation and survived no fewer than 7 natural disasters.
So how many disasters have they survived? 7. Do you know the names of the disasters? Do you remember them? Earthquakes, cyclones, tsunamis, probably all those, right? That's why we learned those words before. Now, let's see how long they had to wait before they went to Thailand.
Stefan and Erika Svanstrom started their 4-month trip last December. They were
So the thing is, how long would they be traveling for? For 4 months. This is a 4-month trip. It's a long trip. Yeah, it's not just like a weekend or something. 4 months traveling. Probably. And the baby would be grown already. Oh, I remember when I started traveling, I was still a child, you know? Yeah.
traveling with their young baby daughter. First, they flew from Stockholm to Munich. But when they arrived in Munich, they couldn't get their connecting flight to Thailand because there was a terrible blizzard in South Germany. The worst snowstorm in 100 years.
Hmm.
They had to wait at the airport for 24 hours.
So that's the question. How long did they have to wait? They had to wait for 24 hours. Where? In Munich, in Germany. Where were they going to? They were going to Thailand. Okay. What weather were they expecting in Bali? Now let's see the second question.
Mrs. Svanstrom said,
We just thought things will get better.
when they finally got to Thailand, they had a relaxing few weeks. But that was the last time they could really relax. From Thailand, they flew to the island of Bali in Indonesia, a popular vacation destination. When they arrived in Bali, they were expecting blue skies and sun.
Okay, that's what they were expecting, right? Why were they expecting blue skies and sun? It's an island. Florianopolis is an island too. And you cannot expect sun and hot weather all the time. Yeah. It's a tropical island. Yes, they were expecting good weather because they were on vacation. That's what you expect when you're on vacation. Doesn't matter where you go to, right? I'm going to Curitiba on vacation. I expect rain and I don't know, gray mist or something. Yeah. But now, let's see what happened.
But what they got were terrible monsoon rains, the worst monsoons for many years.
Monsoons. When it rains a lot for a long time.
Mrs. Svanstrom said,
Now we were thinking, what will happen next?
they decided
Yeah, they were thinking, what will happen next? Let's go home then. So they were in Bali, Indonesia, and now they're moving to Australia, right? So question number 3 is, where were the streets full of smoke? I don't know.
decided not to stay in Bali, but to go to Australia. They flew to Perth in Western Australia, but hours after they arrived, Perth suffered terrible forest fires, and the streets were full of smoke. They traveled
Where? In Australia? Perth. Full of smoke because of what? Fire in the forest. Forest fires.
after they arrived, Perth suffered terrible forest fires, and the streets were full of smoke. They traveled north to Cairns and arrived just in time for Cyclone Yasi, one of the worst cyclones ever to hit the city. They had to leave their hotel and spend 24 hours in a shopping center with 2,500 other people.
So what happened there? So they were in Australia, and there was too much smoke on the street because of the forest fires.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's go somewhere else. And they went to a hotel. But then what happened? The cyclone came.
But it's in another city.
It was in another city called Cairns or something, yes? They had to leave the hotel because of the cyclone. It probably destroyed the hotel. And the whole town was going to where? To a shopping center. 2,500 people seeking shelter
1 day.
for 24 hours with strangers, not knowing what's going to happen, right? Yeah,
Could things get any worse?
this way.
Yes, they could. The Svanstrom family left Cairns and traveled south to Brisbane to visit friends. But the city was suffering from the worst floods in its history. So they left Brisbane and booked airline tickets to Christchurch in New Zealand.
So the city they wanted to visit was flooded, full of water. They couldn't go anywhere, so they decided to take a flight to Christchurch in New Zealand.
But just before their plane left Brisbane, some friends called them to say that Christchurch had been hit by an earthquake and a large part of the city was destroyed.
So, did they go there? Did they go to Christchurch? No, they didn't. Why not? Yeah, some friends call, hey, don't come here. There was an earthquake, so you better stay. All right, where did they go after that?
Their plane landed in another city, Auckland. They
Auckland?
traveled around New Zealand for a while, and then they flew to Japan. On March 11th, they were having lunch in a restaurant in Tokyo when suddenly everything began to shake.
So that's question number 6. What were they doing?
In the restaurant.
They were in Japan having lunch, like just a normal day in another country somewhere in the world. Well, I don't know where I wake up. The baby's like, yeah, now I got to know the place. No, I'm in Japan now. Yeah. So they're going to have some lunch. And then suddenly everything began to shake.
It was an earthquake, 9 on the Richter scale, and one of the worst that ever hit Japan. And after the earthquake came a devastating tsunami.
Wow.
Fortunately, Mr. and Mrs. Fonstrom and their child were not hurt. They traveled from Japan to China for the last part of their vacation. Luckily, they didn't have any more natural disasters, and they arrived safely home in Stockholm on March 29th. Mr. Fonstrom said,
We have learned that in life you should always expect the worst but hope for the best. Also, you need to be prepared for anything.
Had they flown straight to China, they would have missed everything. Okay, let's go to China. Because if we go around, it's just a lot of, problems. So let's go to China instead. Yeah, they went to China. Do you think they were lucky or unlucky? Why? Unlucky. Can you describe being lucky? Or unlucky? Problems, problematics, what? What if you plan? If you have a plan, can you be unlucky? Remember Murphy's Law? What is it? If something can go wrong, it will go wrong. It doesn't matter what you plan, right? But that doesn't mean you shouldn't plan anything at all, right? Okay, good. Now I have a piece of paper for you to fill out right here, which is the confusing verbs. Take one each. Let's do it. Vocabulary confusing verbs.